Well, the bells are still ringing, meaning that a quorum has not been formed yet in the House, and as soon as the quorum is formed, then the business of the House continues, and it is a requirement that 1/3 of the members of Parliament have to be present for business of the House to continue, and in this case the bells are still ringing for a quorum. And just before we went on the 20 minutes health break, under consideration on the floor of the House was the Anti-terrorism and Non-proliferation Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 31 of 2024, which is being considered at a second reading stage.
Yes, and still to come on the order paper, we expect the House to consider the Health Professions Bill, National Assembly Bill number 11 of 2024, which is coming at committee, and we expect a resumption of committee work on this bill. We also expect the House to consider the Minerals Regulation Commission Bill, National Assembly Bill number 1 of 2024, also coming at committee stage. The National Health Research and Training Institute Bill, National Assembly Bill number 13 of 2024, coming at committee. The Local Authorities Superannuation Fund Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 21 of 2024, also coming at committee stage.
Others are the Customs and Excise Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 24 of 2024 to be considered at committee stage. We also have the Appropriation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 32 of 2024 to be considered at committee stage. And the Zambia National Public Health Institute Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 15 of 2024 is expected to be considered at a report stage, and so is the Zambia Institute of Quantity Surveyors Bill, National Assembly Bill number 19 of 2024, also to be considered at a committee stage.
We also expect the House to consider the Judiciary Administration Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 16 of 2024, coming at third reading. The Income Tax Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 22 of 2024, coming at third reading. We also have the Mobile Money Transaction Levy Bill, National Assembly Bill number 25 of 2024, also coming at third reading.
Order, honorable members. When business was suspended, the House was considering the second reading stage of the Anti-terrorism and Non-proliferation Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 31 of 2024, and the Honorable Member for Shiwangandu was debating. May the Honorable Member continue.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Indeed, before we went on break, I was just winding up commending the Honorable Ministers for that magnanimous decision of listening to us and the stakeholders out there. And that reminds me, Madam Speaker, that the Honorable Minister of Home Affairs is aware of these decisions. I remember him very well when he single-handedly convinced me as his predecessor there, together with the then Minister of Justice, to withdraw and defer the famous Public Code Act, which is yet to come back to this House. So I think you have done the right thing, Honorable Minister. Madam Speaker, in supporting the bill, I was saying, yes, the pieces of legislation locally must conform to the international standards as required by the group such as SAMLAG and FATF, because these assesses the nation's activities in these matters of terrorism and proliferation. I also want to thank the committee for accepting to appear before them and taking our submissions, which they've captured in their report. So I will just augment what the acting chairperson stated with regards to the status of the institution. Honorable Minister, I think changing the nomenclature of the head of the institution should not just be by name. It should come with a reversion of the institution itself. By now, we should be focusing on having full permanent human resource at that department, other than those that come on secondments, because those were transition measures. So we must be thinking of having permanent human resource there and go all the way to also ensure that the rapid response force, which is supposed to be under that institution, is also put in place. Now, your proposal to change the name of to elevate the director to Director General is a good intention. But you see, you shouldn't do it in the manner that, I can maybe for simpler terms, Madam Speaker, look like you are elevating a secondary school head teacher at a primary school. You are saying now you are a head teacher of a secondary school, but yet it's still a primary school. So the best approach would be to elevate the whole institution, because you are going to have this DG who is going to be either a warrant order or sub-warrant order and make decisions. And for now, you get the director coming from another institution where is a Director General. I'm just wondering how it would play out. Director General of that special institution where you get the directors from to nominate another Director General. And when they are recalled back to that institution where they come from, what do they become? What about their accrued interests by the time they are serving as Director General? When they are recalled back to their substantive institution, what do they become? And what becomes of those accrued interests that could have come with the office that they occupied? So, Minister, these are issues that we want you to reflect on, but focus on just elevating the whole institution. If you say it's an agency, let it be an agency. You have seen the examples. Look at the way we transformed the former prisons when it became correctional service and changed that paradigm shift. We said Commissioner General. DEC, Drug Enforcement, it used to be under the Commissioner. Now it's Director General. So you have got examples that you can leave. So just uplift it, give it a befitting status so that it can be in conformity with other international standards as it is, so that the institution then can discharge its functions. Yes, people might think, no, we haven't seen terrorism here. Why do we have to focus on this? We have to plan for the rains before the rains come. And so it's important that you continue capacitating this institution and give it the resources that is required for it to undertake the assignments that are given to the institution. Also, pay attention, Minister, to what is happening at the Financial Intelligence Center, because you go together for these meetings, and when they are assessing the nation, they assess all of you together. So those negative reports of financial frauds that are increasing in volume under the FIC will have an impact on you as a ministry through this very important institution. So see how you can collaborate to make sure that you go with clean sheets as you go for assessment. Madam Speaker, with these few remarks, I just want to thank your committee for doing a commendable job on the 3 bills they were scrutinizing. I thank you.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Member for Chitambo.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for giving me chance and the people of Chitambo to debate on indeed this non-controversial bill. Madam Speaker, this bill looks controversial in the sense that very few Zambians understand what it is. And very few, even amongst ourselves here, might understand what the bill stands for. Madam Speaker, the minister has got a lot of work to do to ensure that Zambians come to know certain laws that this House is enacting. For example, this same law that we are trying to enact today, it is for the betterment of Zambia. Because, Madam Speaker, if we are placed into a gray area by failing to conform with the regulations of the Financial Action Task Force, it means this country will be looked as if we are supporting terrorism. And by so doing, Madam Speaker, I heard the minister in his speech there, or in his statement, he said, acting this law will enhance our direct financial investments. Because, Madam Speaker, all those that want to invest in this country, they will first want to understand the environment in which we are operating. And some of the red flags that they look at are these same laws that we are trying to come up with today. So this law, despite the terminologies sounding very ambiguous, for example, the word terrorism, this is not a word that the minister has come up with alone here, no. But these are standards that come with this body, the Financial Action Task Force. Madam Speaker, wherever you go in other countries, you will discover that the words we are using here, terrorism and whatever, as long as you belong to this Financial Action Task Force, you have to conform with the glossary of words that are used there. So, Madam Speaker, I also want to talk about how Zambians should treat this law by way of looking at our neighbors. It will also enhance, Madam Speaker, the collaborations with our neighbors, because they will know that Zambia, by nature, is trying by all means to ensure that terrorist activities are stopped. So, Madam Speaker, for us to earn the confidence that we need with our neighboring countries, we need to enhance such laws. And indeed, following and borrowing from what the last debater, Honorable Member for Shwangandu, said, by way of elevating this institution from just a small department in the ministry, it will show how serious we are by bringing it to a level of Director General. That will show that we are very serious in wanting to achieve, because these are UN goals, Madam Speaker, we're talking about, and we belong to the UN as a country. We're a country that subscribes to the UN. So if we subscribe to the UN, we must also ensure that we follow what the UN is prescribing us to do. Madam Speaker, the only thing that I bemoan here, Honorable Minister, it shouldn't take those people to come and inspect us and evaluate us and say, you are still short in terms of your law, can you do this? That's when we realize that we are almost going into grey. It should be your mandate, Honorable Minister, to check on these institutions which subscribe to the international standards to ensure that we are in conformity with that law. You can imagine, had not they come in September to come and check on us, we wouldn't have known. We would have just realized that Zambia has been placed on a grey list, which should have brought a lot of problems to us. Today, we are looking as if now we are in a hurry, we are panicking because we know we've got a deadline to beat. Madam Speaker, if we don't enact this law, come January we shall be in grey. And that will bring a lot of challenges to this country to trade with other countries that are conforming with these laws. Madam Speaker, I thought I should add my word. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Chilubi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The people of Chilubi would like first to note that it would have been well that most of the terms that have been included in this particular bill are attended to well in the same bill, because many of the definitions that are going to qualify the bill either depend on other laws, domestic ones, and largely they also depend on international treaties. International treaties, Madam Speaker, that includes also regional treaties, as it may be. Madam Speaker, this law, if you look at the old Act that we have, the Anti-terrorism, is literally replacing and repealing and replacing the Anti-terrorism Act because it has attended to a lot of sections. Madam Speaker, the people of Chirubi would like to draw attention mainly to the use of the word chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear material. These words, Madam Speaker, are on the center of this particular bill. And if you look at Section 21A to Section 21G, many of our people who may not have proper awareness of what terrorism is and what is a chemical, what is a biological material, what is radiological material and nuclear material may be found wanting if you scrutinize Section 21A to Section 21G, Madam Speaker. Further, Madam Speaker, the people of Chirubi are concerned about how the bill has used the word theft, robbery of, aggravated robbery of the same materials I referred to earlier on, embezzlement of those materials I referred to earlier on, and acts against those materials and threats concerning those materials, Madam Speaker, as it may be. And the materials I'm referring to, Madam Speaker, are chemical, biological, radiological, and the nuclear materials. Madam Speaker, given that background, it would have been well suited, this very good bill, which aligns us to international community, especially in fighting terrorism, needed proper awareness within our parameters so that our people are not found wanting. In Bemba they say, Akachila Kambushi, Kasengolopo Kekele, Madam Speaker, literally meaning that if this law is made to maximize our participation against anti-terrorism, we should also make sure that our citizens are not found wanting. And if our citizens will be found wanting because of ignorance of a lot of things that our citizens may not be exposed to in understanding what this law requires, we will find ourselves in a bit of a precarious situation. Madam Speaker, I also want to underscore that the word terrorism in this particular law, I know that it has an international understanding, and it is mainly referring to applicable treaties, especially in the schedule, as it may be. But I think, Madam Speaker, on this one, I take note, especially on N, which talks about unlawful possession of the material. Of course, with intent, it qualifies. But even when this is done, Madam Speaker, terrorism is also connected to issues of financing. Madam Speaker, if you look at the roles of the Financial Intelligence Center currently, you find that one of the roles is to detect terrorism financing. And if it is to detect terrorism financing, how do we harness and create a linkage between the FIC and this particular law in a way so that one process feeds into another? Madam Speaker, I know that terrorism financing can come in different packages, but the detection and the way we treat the material that comes through FIC is not in the manner that positions ourselves to actually fight terrorism. Because if, for instance, we treat the material that comes from FIC currently, which is looking at the issues of financing, terrorism financing, with Kids Grove, you find that you will be missing an opportunity to effectively participate in anti-terrorism activities as it may be. Madam Speaker, I also want to bring to your attention the mouthful word of proliferation. I'm even failing to pronounce it, because it includes in a lot of things, among them manufacturing, producing, possessing, acquiring, stockpiling, and the like. Madam Speaker, if you look at the word chemical and many other, And I think I've had I'm speaking this, Madam Speaker, I'd like to even declare interest. One of my young brother suffered unnecessary detention because of this. And my home was searched because for fertilizer, because and it's the anti-terrorism squad that came to search my home for fertilizer. And when we look at some of these factors, even the people that are implementing these laws do not understand what a chemical is. And when you look at things like ammonium nitrate and all those factors, there are people who believe this can create explosives. And ammonium nitrate also can be used for farming. So there is need that we create a balance, especially in the awareness of our people, especially that the law is emphasizing on unlawful possession. If you buy ammonium nitrate from any source and you want to use it for farming, and some people may be malicious and say you are buying it to create some explosion. Madam Speaker, another focus would be is that we also need to know that Zambia stocks some of the nuclear materials, like some of the minerals. We know Mapatisia area, there are some minerals that may be linked to this law. And if our common villagers there, by nature of not knowing what they are storing, they pick a piece, and because there is also a case of releasing radioactive material or nuclear material, these all things have to be harmonized so that this law can be effectively implemented within our boundaries. And Madam Speaker, the people of Chirubina, as far as they support this law, they are submitting that this law needs a lot of awareness, especially that many of the working terms are seated in the treaties, not in our local laws. Madam Speaker, with those few words, the people of Chirubina would like to submit.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Kamfinsa.
Madam Speaker, may I join my colleagues who have spoken before me to thank the Minister of Science and Technology and the Minister of Home Affairs for accepting the will of the people in allowing for further consultations on the two bills that were deferred much earlier. I want to commit myself, Madam Speaker, to help the two ministries in raising public awareness on the implication of the law and what needs to be done to ensure, Madam Speaker, that we get the buy-in from the members of the public. Madam Speaker, may I thank Chairperson of the committee for preparing this report. It's a well-summarized report, Madam Speaker. Once again, Madam Speaker, I want to indicate that this topic that we are discussing, the Anti-Terrorism Act, is one of those laws, Madam Speaker, that requires a lot of public awareness, because there are many of us that obviously only came to know that we have such a piece of legislation at a time the amendments were being proposed. And for the benefit of the members of the public, in 2007, the first law was enacted. This Parliament, Madam Speaker, enacted the first law on anti-terrorism. 8 years later, 2015, the law was revised, Madam Speaker, to establish a center, which center my dear colleagues have referred to already. 3 years later, Madam Speaker, in 2018, offenses were identified and put in the law, meaning we did amendments in the first 8 years, in the second 3 years, and 6 years later, Madam Speaker, 2023, this Parliament, which I belong to at this moment, Madam Speaker, revised the law again, meaning from 2007, we've had almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 amendments. These amendments we are doing today, Madam Speaker, happen to be the 5th amendments with which we are doing to this particular law that we are considering today. Madam Speaker, why have I taken time to inform the public? Because through this conversation, the members of the public now are aware that this is not a new law that we are enacting. We are basically revising existing laws. Now, why is that important, Madam Speaker? It is important because we might have to revise these laws in future unless we do the correct thing today. I know the Parliament rules allow for amendments. In 1 year you can amend, bring another amendment, but sometimes, Madam Speaker, it's important to do a comprehensive job. What am I suggesting, Madam Speaker, as my first point? My first point is that from 2007 to where we are, we've done 5 amendments. Can we now do the correct thing? I know today may not be the opportunity to comprehensively conclude all the necessary changes, but after today, Madam Speaker, I want to appeal to the Minister responsible for Home Affairs. Can we now identify what other things are important in this law, so that once we consider another amendment, Madam Speaker, it should not be a routine thing. It should not be because someone says provision A is missing, can you amend the law? Let us also sit down as a country that is managing this particular center to ask ourselves, from the perspective of fighting terrorism, what else is missing in this law, so that we don't have to wait for international agencies, Madam Speaker, to tell us that can you amend this particular provision. That is my first submission, Madam Speaker. Secondly, I'm aware that from a budgeting point of view, we seem to be providing funding to this center and this particular wing of government through the ministry. What we are basically doing, Madam Speaker, is that there's money that is being set aside to support the duties of this very important department. My understanding is that if we had the right resources, if what Honorable Kampyongo is suggesting, if what my colleagues are suggesting, that we elevate this center into an agency, it therefore demands, Madam Speaker, that the budgetary allocation for this center should actually increase. And I know that we may have missed the opportunity through this budget that we recently considered. But for 2025, going into 2026, Madam Speaker, my appeal to the Minister of Finance, my appeal to the Minister of Home Affairs, now that there is this demand that we elevate this particular center, it may be necessary now, Madam Speaker, that we establish the structure, we establish the programs that they will undertake, and we provide the resources that are needed in the national budget. So, Madam Speaker, without taking the entire 8 minutes that you've accorded me, allow me to support the proposed amendments, and I hope that my submissions will be considered as the Minister responds. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security, winding up debate.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, as ministry responsible for this institution, I would like to thank most sincerely the committee for the able manner they have handled this particular bill and the support they have given to it. I thank you, honorable members of the committee. I also wish to thank Honorable Kamchongo for his submissions, Honorable Remember Me Mutale, and Honorable for Kamfinsa, Honorable Kangombe, and Honorable Fube for Chilovi. Madam Speaker, most of the submissions are complementing the report of the committee, and the submissions have been appreciated. We are taking note of the progressive submissions that have been made. Madam Speaker, I've heard the submissions from Honorable Remember Mutale and Honorable Kongombe, where they were lamenting that we should not be making so many amendments in a short time. Madam Speaker, my colleagues may not be aware that we are a member of an international organization called SAMLAC. This particular organization, Madam Speaker, superintends over the affairs of countries vis-a-vis financial institutions. Every country, every year, is evaluated as to the performances of financial institutions
in those countries. If they are found wanting, recommendations are made so that there is an improvement in the financial standing of those organizations. Zambia is not the only country that has been evaluated. All the members in COMESA, SADC are being evaluated by this particular institution. And once a recommendation is made, you are obliged to undertake measures. We, as the government of the Republic of Zambia, are under an obligation, because we are a member of this SAMLAG, which is also a member of the United Nations. So when a recommendation is made, we oblige accordingly. And this is exactly what we are doing, Madam Speaker. We are given up to the end of December for us to comply. And we are complying. Other countries are failing, but ourselves we have managed to comply. And I'm happy to note that the House has given us the full support pertaining to this particular bill. Madam Speaker, I will also be failing if I don't respond to the accolades that have been made to me and my colleague, Honorable Mutati. We do appreciate. We would like to inform the nation that the UPND government and its partners are a listening government. When members of the public raise certain issues which are genuine, we hear them and respond accordingly. Today, we have responded. We are going to give the opportunity to the committee. The committee is the one that made the request that please defer so that they can be given enough time to consult with members of the public. Because we respect the committee. The reasons given are genuine. And we have responded positively, Madam Speaker. We will always do that if a prudent and reasonable issue is raised by members of the opposition. We will never ignore those concerns. We should also take note as we are approving this bill, Madam Speaker. If you have to fight terrorism, you have to ensure that you have laws in place through the cyber security laws. If you do not have a cyber security system that is secure, you cannot fight terrorism. So as we defer these cyber security bills, let's take note. There are certain things you cannot do if you do not have certain laws. So, Madam Speaker, I thought I should respond, much as I appreciate what my colleagues have said. The other bills will come after we have consulted members of the public. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Member for Usakile, what's the point of order? Bear in mind that we have a huge schedule of work.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I rarely rise on point of orders. And my point of order is on the Minister of Home Affairs. He has just told this House that once we are evaluated under the RAT International Organization, under discussion, we are under obligation to enact laws. Madam Speaker, Zambia is not a monolith state. We are a dualist state. Is the minister in order to state to the nation, to this House, and to himself that we can be obligated by any decision in any international organization? I need your serious ruling, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable Member, this bill has been brought about because a convention that was signed. And under that convention, you need to domesticate the law so that this House can make the law and approve it, and once the House is agreed, the law will be passed. So it's just an obligation. We are not compounded by an international organization to do certain things. We are willing members, so we have to oblige by what the organization demands of its members. Let's make progress. I put the question. The question is that the bill be now read a second time. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Let the bill be read a second time.
The Anti-terrorism and Non-proliferation Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 31 of 2024.
Committee stage to be taken when?
Tomorrow, Madam Speaker.
Committee stage to be taken tomorrow, Friday, 6th December 2024. Next order.
The Health Professions Bill, National Assembly Bill number 11 of 2024. Committee stage, resumption of committee work.
I now consolidate orders number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and the House will now resolve into committee.
Order. When business was interrupted yesterday, Wednesday, 4th December 2024, the Committee of the House had just finished considering Clause 62, Surrender of Internship Site Certificate of the Health Professions Bill, National Assembly Bill number 11 of 2024. We now move to Clause 63. Clause 63, suspension or cancellation of internship site certificate. Any debate and objection? The question is that Clause 63 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Health.
Chairperson, I beg to move that Clause 63 be amended with weights as circulated.
The question is that Clause 63 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. Clause 63 as amended. Any further debate? I put the question. The question is that Clause 63 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 63 as amended is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 64, suspension or cancellation of internship certificate. Any debate and objection? Clause 64 is agreed to. Clause 65, Code of Ethics. Any debate, any objection? Clause 65 is agreed to. Clause 66, professional misconduct. Any debate and objection? Clause 66 is agreed to. Clause 67, initiation of disciplinary action. Any debate and objection? Clause 67 is agreed to. Clause 68, professional conduct committee. Any debate and objection? Clause 68 is agreed to. Clause 69, reference of matters to Professional Conduct Committee. Any debate and objection? Clause 69 is agreed to. Clause 70, Functions of Professional Conduct Committee. Any debate and objection, Clause 70 is agreed to. Clause 71, Proceedings of Professional Conduct Committee. Any debate and objection, Clause 71 is agreed to. Clause 72, Sanctions for Professional Misconduct by Professional Conduct Committee. Any debate and objection, the question is that Clause 72 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Health.
Chairperson, I beg to move that Clause 72 be amended with the words as circulated.
The question is that Clause 72 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. Clause 72 as amended. Any further debate? I put the question. The question is that Clause 72 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 72 as amended is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 73, Disciplinary Committee. Any debate and objection, Clause 73 is agreed to. Clause 74, Functions of Disciplinary Committee. Any debate and objection, Clause 74 is agreed to. Clause 75, Proceedings of Disciplinary Committee. Any debate and objection, Clause 75 is agreed to. Clause 76, Powers of Disciplinary Committee. Any debate and objection, the question is that Clause 76 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Health.
Chairperson, I beg to move that Clause 76 be amended with the words as circulated.
The question is that Clause 76 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate and objection, amendment is agreed to. Clause 76 as amended. Any further debate? I put the question. The question is that Clause 76 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 76 as amended is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 77, Sanctions for Professional Misconduct by Disciplinary Committee. Any debate and objection, Clause 77 is agreed to. Clause 78, Reports by Disciplinary Committee. Any debate and objection, Clause 78 is agreed to. Clause 79, Rules relating to disciplinary proceedings. Any debate and objection, Clause 79 is agreed to. Clause 80, Inspectorate. Any debate and objection, Clause 80 is agreed to. Clause 81, Power of Entry, Search and Inspection. Any debate and objection, Clause 81 is agreed to. Clause 82, Report of Inspection. Any debate and objection, Clause 82 is agreed to. Clause 83, Code of Conduct for Inspector. Any debate and objection, Clause 83 is agreed to. Clause 84, Appeals. Any debate and objection, Clause 84 is agreed to. Clause 85, Registers. Any debate and objection, Clause 85 is agreed to. Clause 86, Publication of copies of register. Any debate and objection, Clause 86 is agreed to. Clause 87, Jurisdiction over acts committed outside the Republic. Any debate and objection, Clause 87 is agreed to. Clause 88, Offenses by body corporate or an incorporated body. Any debate and objection, Clause 88 is agreed to. Clause 89, General penalty. Any debate and objection, Clause 89 is agreed to. Clause 90, Administrative penalty. Any debate and objection? Clause 90 is agreed to. Clause 91, guidelines. Any debate and objection? Clause 91 is agreed to. Clause 92, no execution on property of council. Any debate and objection? Clause 92 is agreed to. Clause 93, regulations. Any debate and objection? Clause 93 is agreed to. Clause 94, repeal of Act number 20 of 2009, savings and transitional provisions. Any debate and objection? Clause 94 is agreed to. First schedule on page 45, any debate and objection? First schedule on page 45 is agreed to. Second schedule on page 51, any debate and objection? Second schedule on page 51 is agreed to. Long title, any debate and objection? Long title is agreed to. The bill will be reported to the House as having passed through the committee with amendments. We now move to the next bill, the Minerals Regulation Commission Bill, National Assembly Bill number 1 of 2024. Clause 1, short title. Any debate and objection? Clause 1 is agreed to. Clause 2, interpretation. Any debate and objection? The question is that Clause 2 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
I beg to move, Madam Speaker, that Clause 2 be amended with words as circulated.
The question is that Clause 2 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. Clause 2 as amended. Any further debate? Mr. Kalobo.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to put it on record that amendment of the Mines and Mineral Development Act number 11 of 2015 is a very progressive move, which has presented us an opportunity to deal with historical challenges of exploration and the shareholding. Also, it will help us deal with the social justice that we should expect in the mining sector, Madam Speaker. However, Madam Speaker, we have proposed to amend the definition of mineral royalty. With your indulgence, Madam Chairman.
Mr. Kalobo, we haven't yet come to your amendment. We are still dealing with the amendment by the Minister. Then we'll come to your amendment.
Guided.
Thank you. I put the question. The question is that Clause 2, as amended, stands part of the bill. This is the amendment by the Minister. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 2, as amended, is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 2, as amended. Any further debate, Mr. Kalobo?
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. As indicated earlier, Madam Speaker, Madam Chairperson, I beg to move that Clause 2 be amended with the words as circulated.
The question is that Clause 2 be further amended with the words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. Clause 2 as further amended. Any further debate? The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Chairperson, the bill has provided adequate definition of mineral royalty, which is sufficient insofar as it relates to the collection of royalty for the extraction of minerals. Moreover, Madam Speaker, the value of the mineral cannot be ascertained when underground, but once it is extracted. Therefore, the honorable member's definition is likely to pose challenges in operationalization and particularly in its administration. I submit.
Thank you. I put the question for the amendment by the honorable member. The question is that clause 2, as further amended, stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Of the contrary say no. The noes have it. The question is negatived. Therefore, the amendment falls away. Clause 3, minerals to vest in President. Mr. Kalobo, you have a point of order?
I debate my point.
Pardon?
I indicated to debate my point.
But let's follow the sequence. We have just finished clause 2, so we are going to clause 3.
I already indicated, madam.
Debate clause 2.
Clause 2.
We make progress. Mr. Kalobo, please, can you maybe be more attentive to your clauses when they come, so that you are not left behind. But as far as I'm concerned, I gave you an opportunity, and then we raise the question. So we make progress. Clause 3, minerals to vest in President. Any debate, any objection? Clause 3 is agreed to. Clause 4, principles. Any debate, any objection? Clause 4 is agreed to. Clause 5, the Minerals Regulation Commission. Any debate, any objection? Clause 5 is agreed to. Clause 6, functions of commission. Any debate, any objection? Clause 6 is agreed to. Clause 7, board of commission. The question is that clause 7 stands part of the bill. Mr. Kalobo?
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that clause 7 be amended with the words as circulated.
The question is that clause 7 be amended with the words as circulated. Any debate, any objection? Amendment is agreed to. Clause 7 as amended. Any further debate? Yes. Mr. Kalobo?
Madam Chairperson, inclusion of the chiefs is important. The old act included the chiefs. In this one, they have excluded the chiefs. So we propose that we delete the word 3 from other stakeholders to accommodate the chiefs. Why are we calling for the inclusion of the chiefs? Through the chiefs, that is where the local communities get signed social contracts with who would be the investors. All the land where our mines are located, they are in various chiefdoms. So we feel they are very important stakeholders. Inclusiveness, Madam Speaker, is very important. You may wish to know that globally, Madam Speaker, there is no peaceful society. Why? Because there is no inclusiveness. So instead of this bill supporting inclusiveness, is taking away inclusiveness. So we contend seriously that chiefs are key stakeholders in these mining companies as they come, so that through the chiefs, people can have a serious social contract. We may give an example of Northwestern. Our chiefs there, they have got a bigger say, and they are benefiting. Nations like South Africa, chiefs are involved, and serious royalties are paid, and that's how development is achieved, because development cannot be a one-way issue. So, Madam Speaker, with that contribution, we contend seriously that the chiefs be included on the board. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Just a reminder, Mr. Kalobo, we are in the committee of the whole House. There is no Madam Speaker. It's just the chairperson. The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson. Madam Chairperson, to the contrary, we have not tempered with the inclusion of chiefs in as far as the Minerals Commission Bill is concerned. Madam Speaker, the clause that supports chiefs is still maintained, because chiefs play a key role when translating from an exploration license to a mining license. You cannot have, or your mining license cannot be processed minus you going to the chiefs to consult them and get a consent. At that point, they have a lot of power. It means you can't mine, you can't get a license until the chiefs have consented to that. Except in the past, Madam Speaker, maybe we haven't been as a nation very strong on that point. But really the chiefs have the power at the point of giving a mining license. So I want to assure their Royal Highnesses, where they are listening, they are not excluded in this bill. We have maintained that component where they give consent when getting the mining license. I submit.
Mr. Banda.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. I just want to add a word, as I come from a mining area. I got the minister, but I think somewhere there must be a correction, Honorable Minister. What transpires is that a person will first get a mining license before he gets a consent from the chief. At the time when you have got a mining license, that's when you go to the chief. And at that point, there are some miners who doesn't even need a consent. And chiefs have got very little to say to such miners, in that even to give a consent to artisan mining licenses, it becomes very difficult. So my contribution is that it's better if we sit and say we give certain powers to the chief with regards to how licenses are issued. Madam Chairperson, I thank you.
The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson and Honorable Member. Honorable Member, I want through you to also clarify to the nation that there are two different licenses that you get before you start your mining. Number one, you get an exploration license. Exploration means you are searching, you are looking, you haven't found, so you don't need a consent. When you are transitioning now to say, I have found copper, now I can start mining, you cannot start without the consent of the chiefs. That is the law. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Mr. Kangombe.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we are making a law, and because we are making a law, I think clarity is needed. And allow me, Madam Speaker, to refer the Honorable Minister of Mines to Clause 7. Now, Madam Chairperson, Clause 7 has got Subclause 2. And under Subclause 2, there is 2D. So Clause 7, Subclause 2, and then there is D. What the Honorable Member of Parliament for Husakile is suggesting through his amendment is that under D, there's a provision in the proposed law which demands that there shall be 3 representatives from organizations. So the Honorable Member moving amendments is suggesting that instead of having 3 representatives, can we have 2? And then we insert E, which will provide provision for a representative of the House of Chiefs. That is what the Honorable Member is suggesting. So now the Minister, in responding, has informed this August House that when you are getting a license, you need consent from a chief. I don't think that is a problem. That procedure demands that a chief is part of the process of acquiring a license. There's no objection. Minister, we agree with you. The chiefs at that stage have a role to play to grant a license because the procedure demands that a chief gives you consent. So, Minister, we're not disputing that chiefs are not involved in granting consent. What the member is saying is that in this new law, there is a board that has been proposed. So the member, and I'm agreeing, my short debate is agreeing with the mover of the amendment, that can we separate the issues? On the board, can we have a chief? Because that is a board. In granting consent when acquiring a license, Minister, we agree with you, let that consent remain and let the chiefs play a role. These are two separate issues, Madam Chairperson, and I submit that we separate these two issues. The fact that a chief in Muchinga, in Serenje, grants consent does not mean that they can't be on the board, Madam Chairperson. And that is my submission, that under Clause 7, Subclause 2D, we amend, instead of 3 representatives who are unknown, can we have 2 representatives and then we include E, that is going to provide for a representative of the House of Chief. Madam Chairperson, the people of Kanfinsa submit. Thank you.
The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Member. Madam Speaker, we still stick to what we have proposed as government, that chiefs play a role at the place of giving a license. If we put them in the board, it will actually amount to conflict of interest at some point, because one may end up being a referee and a player at the same time. I thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Chairperson.
I put the question. The question is that Clause 7, as amended, stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Of the contrary say no. The noes have it. The question is negatived. Amendment falls away. Clause 8, functions of board. Any debate, any objection, Clause 8 is agreed to. Clause 9, Director General, Secretary and other staff. Any debate, any objection, Clause 9 is agreed to. Clause 10, prohibition of exploration, mining, mineral processing, or gold panning without license or environmental impact assessment. Any debate, any objection, Clause 10 is agreed to. Clause 11, types of mining and non-mining rights. Any debate, any objection, Clause 11 is agreed to. Clause 12, disqualification from holding mining right and non-mining right. Any debate, any objection, Clause 12 is agreed to. Clause 13, priority of applications for mining or non-mining rights. Any debate, any objection? The question is that Clause 13 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that Clause 13 be amended as with words as circulated.
The question is that Clause 13 be amended with the words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. I put the question. The question is that Clause 13 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye.
Aye.
Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 13, as further amended, is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 14, mining right for area subject to other rights. Any debate, any objection? The question is that Clause 14 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
I beg to move, Madam Chairperson, that Clause 14 be further amended with words as circulated.
The question is that Clause 14 be amended with the words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. I put the question. The question is that clause 14, as amended, stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 14, as further amended, is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 15, acquisition of mining rights and investment by government. Any debate and objection? The question is that clause 15 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
Madam Chairperson, I beg to move that clause 15 be amended with words as circulated.
The question is that clause 15 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. Clause 15 as amended. Any further debate? I put the question. The question is that clause 15 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 15 as amended is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 16, survey of land. Any debate and objection? Clause 16 is agreed to. Clause 17, application for exploration license. Any debate and objection? The question is that clause 17 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
I beg to move, Madam Chairperson, that clause 17 be amended with words as circulated.
The question is that clause 17 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate? Any objection? Amendment is agreed to. Clause 17 as amended. Any further debate? I put the question. The question is that clause 17 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 17 as amended is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 18, validity of exploration license. Any debate and objection? The question is that clause 18 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
Madam Chairperson, I beg to move that clause 18 be amended with words as circulated.
The question is that clause 18 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. Clause 18 as amended. Any further debate? I put the question. The question is that clause 18 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 18 as amended is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 19, disqualification for issue of exploration license. Any debate and objection? Clause 19 is agreed to. Clause 20, closure of area to priority licensing. Any debate and objection? Clause 20 is agreed to. Clause 21, licensing of mining activities. Any debate and objection? Clause 21 is agreed to. Clause 22, application for mining license. Any debate and objection? Clause 22 is agreed to. Clause 23, validity of mining license. Any debate and objection? The question is that clause 23 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
Madam Chairperson, I beg to move that clause 23 be amended with words as circulated.
The question is that clause 23 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. Clause 23 as amended. Any further debate? I put the question. The question is that clause 23 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. All the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 23, as amended, is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 24, deferment of commencement of mining. Any debate and objection, clause 24 is agreed to. Clause 25, suspension of production or closure mine by commission. The question is that clause 25 stands part of the bill. Mr. Kalobo.
Madam Chairperson, I beg to move that clause 25 be amended with the words as circulated.
The question is that clause 25 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. Clause 25 as amended. Any further debate? Mr. Kalobo.
Madam Chairperson, the Industrial and Labour Relations Act provides for dispute resolution mechanisms. It clearly stipulates on how social partners should resolve their differences. Our proposal is that 25E should be deleted to avoid the two laws to conflict. Madam Chairperson, the laws and policies that we should be enacting in this country should call for coherence and consistency. Because of that, Madam Speaker, it is not right. It will render the two pieces of legislation a cake. Which one will be superior over the other if we are to do that? Proceeding in that fashion, maybe we would have started maybe by repealing the Industrial and Labour Relations Act. Then we enact such a law. So without wasting much time, the appeal from the people of Usakile is that 25E should be deleted from this mineral regulation bill. I thank you, Madam Chairperson.
The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
Madam Chairperson, thank you very much, and thank you, Honorable Member, for your submission. Madam Chairperson, we did scrutinize everything together with consultation from various lawyers, and there will be no conflict anywhere because of this law. So I think that government will still stand by what it has proposed. I thank you.
Mr. Kangombe.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson. Madam Chairperson, I have with me the draft bill and clause 25 to help everyone understand what we are discussing. So what clause 25 is suggesting in its current form is that the Commission, which is the new regulator, may direct a holder of a mining right or mineral processing license to suspend or close the mine or a section of the mine where the holder has a dispute that disrupts mining or mineral processing operations. What this provision, Madam Chairperson, is suggesting is that if there's a dispute at one of the mines, under E, that mine should be closed or the license will be affected. That is what this provision is suggesting. So the honorable member who's moving the amendment is saying, why should a mine close? Simply because there is a dispute which is labor related. What the honorable member for Usakile is saying is that there is no need for that mine to close. The laws of Zambia are enough, Madam Chairperson, to deal with labor disputes. Let people go and sit in a boardroom, let them sort out the labor dispute. Meanwhile, mining operations should simply resume. If we allow E to continue, what will happen, Madam Chairperson, is that that license or that mine which is currently functional will be closed simply because there is a labor dispute. So the honorable member is saying, Minister, let's remove E. let's allow this dispute to be sorted out under existing laws in Zambia. And I totally support the Honorable Member for Sakili. I thank you.
The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
Madam Speaker, or Madam Chairperson, we need to read this statement in its entirety. And this is what it says. The holder, among other reasons why, even as it stands now, the Ministry of Mines has the power to close mines. It doesn't have any issues with labor, Ministry of Labor, in terms of when we close a mine, because of different reasons. Now here, this is saying, among other reasons, pollution, failure to carry out mining activities, it is saying that the holder has a labor dispute, Madam Chairperson, that disrupts. That is the qualification of this. It's not just any other labor, it can be a labor dispute. If it doesn't disrupt the mining activities, then this doesn't apply. But if there is disruption, the commission, to save lives, maybe they are disrupting mining activities that could cause accidents. You know, this is a mine we are talking about. If people are throwing stones and all that, the ministry, through the commission, can move in to close that mine until that matter is resolved. I thank you, Madam Chairperson.
I put the question. The question is that clause 25 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Of the contrary say no. The noes have it. The question is negative. Amendment falls away. We move to clause 26, application for mineral processing license. Any debate and objection, clause 26 is agreed to. Clause 27, validity of mineral processing license. Any debate and objection, clause 27 is agreed to. Clause 28, amendment of mining license or mineral processing license. Any debate and objection, clause 28 is agreed to. Clause 29, suspension or restriction of production by holder of mining or mineral processing license. Any debate and objection, clause 29 is agreed to. Clause 30, application for gold panning certificate. Any debate and objection, clause 30 is agreed to. Clause 31, prohibition of trading in minerals without permit. Any debate and objection, clause 31 is agreed to. Clause 32, application for mineral trading permit. Any debate and objection, clause 32 is agreed to. Clause 33, prohibition of import or export of mineral, etc. without permit. Any debate and objection, clause 33 is agreed to. Clause 34, application for importation and exportation of minerals. Any debate and objection, clause 34 is agreed to. Clause 35, mineral analysis. Any debate and objection, clause 35 is agreed to. Clause 36, restriction of rights of entry by holder of license or permit. Any debate and objection? The question is that clause 36 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
I beg to move, Madam Chairperson, that clause 36 be amended with words as circulated.
The question is that clause 36 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. Clause 36 as amended. Any further debate? I put the question. The question is that clause 36 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 36 as amended is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 37, exercise of right under license of or permit. Any debate and objection? Clause 37 is agreed to. Clause 38, rights to use and access water or graze stock. Any debate and objection? Clause 38 is agreed to. Clause 39, acquisition of land of use by holder of mining right. Any debate and objection? The question is that Clause 39 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
Madam Chairperson, I beg to move that Clause 39 be amended with words as circulated.
The question is that Clause 39 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. Clause 39 as amended. Any further debate? I put the question. The question is that Clause 39 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye.
Aye.
All the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 39 as amended is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 40, alternative dispute resolution. Any debate and objection? The question is that Clause 40 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
I beg to move that Clause 40 be amended with words as circulated.
The question is that Clause 40 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. Clause 40 as amended. Any further debate? I put the question. The question is that Clause 40 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 40 as amended is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 41, compensation for disturbance of rights, etc. Any debate and objection? Clause 41 is agreed to. Clause 42, rights to building materials. The question is that Clause 42 stands part of the bill. Mr. Kalobo.
Madam Chairperson, I beg to move that Clause 42 be amended with the words as circulated.
The question is that Clause 42 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. Clause 42 as amended. Any further debate? Mr. Kalobo.
Madam Chairperson, the proposal we are making to insert talks about preference for Zambian products, contractors, and services, which was removed. It didn't appear. Even at a time of deferment, this was the major contention. We strongly feel that it should be included in the Mineral Regulation Commission. I know the minister may contend that local content has been provided in another bill, which I will not talk about because it's not the one under discussion. It is not right. The Commission is the one which has got the powers to bite. And any abrogation may have an effect on the license holder. In the other legislation where we don't have the Commission, abrogation will just mean like abrogating any other law which may be taken to court and may be in court for many years. So that's why we are proposing that the local content be put in the regulation so that these regulators who has been given teeth to bite can handle this particular matter. Madam Chairperson, I thank you.
The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson, and I thank the Honorable Member. Madam Chairperson, I do agree that we need local content law. And I remember that this was a topical issue when this bill was deferred. As it stands, I think a week ago, I came to this House, Madam Speaker, to present the Geological and Minerals Development Bill, which extensively, Madam Speaker, Madam Chairperson, covers that aspect of local content. And just to clarify, what the regulator will be doing is actually to, first and foremost, to follow the Constitution of Zambia and any other laws that are provided for it to function properly in terms of regulating the mining sector. And that is why, even under the Geological and Minerals Development Bill, which has come into this House and has extensively catered for that, if it is abrogated, still the regulator will go after that mining company that may break this law. So we still stand by the fact that we follow what we brought through the Geological and Minerals Commission Bill. I submit.
I put the question. The question is that Clause 42 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Of the contrary say no. No. The noes have it. The question is negatived. Amendment falls away. 3. Dispose. Any debate and objection, Clause 43 is agreed to. Clause 44, assurance and indemnity. Debate and objection, Clause 44 is agreed to. Clause 45, restriction on mining rights and minerals processing license. Any debate and objection, Clause 45 is agreed to. Clause 46, amendment of program of exploration or mining operation. Any debate and objection, Clause 46 is agreed to. Clause 47, transfer of mining or mineral processing license. Any debate and objection, Clause 47 is agreed to. Clause 48, transfer of control of company. Any debate and objection, Clause 48 is agreed to. Clause 49, alteration of exploration of mining area. Any debate and objection, Clause 49 is agreed to. Clause 50, measures or coordination of mining operation. Any debate and objection, Clause 50 is agreed to. Clause 51, abandonment of land subject to mining or mineral processing license. Any debate and objection, Clause 51 is agreed to. Clause 52, surrender of mining right or mineral processing license. Any debate and objection, Clause 52 is agreed to. Clause 53, renewal of mining or non-mining right. Any debate and objection, Clause 53 is agreed to. Clause 54, suspension or revocation of mining or non-mining right. Any debate and objection, the question is that Clause 54 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
Madam Chairperson, I beg to move that Clause 54 be amended with words as circulated.
The question is that Clause 54 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate and objection, amendment is agreed to. Clause 54 as amended. Any further debate? I put the question. The question is that Clause 54 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 54 as amended is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 55, surrender of records on termination of mining or non-mining rights. Any debate and objection, Clause 55 is agreed to. Clause 56, management of assets on suspension, abandonment, or revocation of mining or non-mining rights. Any debate and objection? Clause 56 is agreed to. Clause 57, compliance order. Any debate and objection? Clause 57 is agreed to. Clause 58, annual area charge. Any debate and objection? Clause 58 is agreed to. Clause 59, production of information. Any debate and objection? Clause 59 is agreed to. Clause 60, consideration of environment and health, human health when granting mining rights or issuing mineral processing license. Any debate and objection? Clause 60 is agreed to. Clause 61, condition for protection of environment and human health. Any debate and objection? Clause 61 is agreed to. Clause 62, clearing away of mining or mineral plant. Any debate and objection? Clause 62 is agreed to. Clause 63, sale of mining or mineral processing plants. Any debate and objection? The question is that Clause 63 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
I beg to move that Clause 63 be amended with words as circulated.
The question is that Clause 63 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. Clause 63 as amended. Any further debate? I put the question. The question is that Clause 63 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 63 as amended is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 64, wasteful mining practices. Any debate and objection? Clause 64 is agreed to. Clause 65, notification of accidents and dangerous occurrences. Any debate and objection? Clause 65 is agreed to. Clause 66, liability and redress. Any debate and objection? Clause 66 is agreed to. Clause 67, environmental protection fund. Any debate and objection? The question is that Clause 67 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
I beg to move that Clause 67 be amended with words as circulated.
The question is that Clause 67 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. Clause 67 as amended. Any further debate? Mr. Kalobo?
Madam Chairperson, I beg to move that Clause 67 be amended with the words as circulated.
We are still looking at the amendment by the Minister. I thought you wanted to debate on the amendment by the Minister. We are still coming to you. So we are still on the amendment by the Minister. Amendment is agreed to. Clause 67 as amended. Any further debate? I put the question. The question is that Clause 67 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 67 as amended is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 67 as amended. Any further debate? Mr. Kalobo?
Madam Chairperson, I beg to move that Clause 67 be amended with the words as circulated.
The question is that Clause 67 be further amended with the words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. Clause 67 as further amended. Any further debate? Mr. Kalobo?
Madam Chairperson, maybe let me read what you are proposing to be amended on Clause 67. 7.1 reads, there shall be an environmental protection fund which shall be administered and managed by the Environmental Protection Fund Committee appointed by the Minister. Madam Chairperson, what you are doing here, we are creating the commission which should be given power. When you look at what is in the bill, it's taking away, again, powers from the commission. So our proposal is that there shall be an environmental protection fund which shall be administered and managed by the Mineral Regulation Commission through the Environmental Protection Fund Committee appointed by the Commission in consultation with the Minister. This is our proposal, Madam Chairperson. Madam Chairperson, I want to be on record, like I wanted to state earlier on. The people of Sakile support the repeal of Minerals Act number 11 of Mines and Mineral Development Act number 11 of 2016, so that it can be enhanced through the Mineral Regulation Bill. I also want to state that the amendment of this law presented to us to deal with historical challenges of exploration and many other. The fashion in which we are going, we seem to have lost it, Madam Chairperson. We also expected this bill to demand for joint exploration. If you check from the report, your committee's report, clause 15, the stakeholders challenged where it was proposing the Minister of Finance to acquire stake without doing anything. So this bill should have demanded for joint exploration. This bill should have demanded for conversion of ZCCMIH from a holding company into a fully-fledged mine. It's simple, it can be done. Where we are coming from before privatization, it was ZCCM Limited, and Zambia owned 100% shares through the CMIH. It was converted into a holding company after privatization. Even now, the CMIH is a parastatal which can be converted into a fully-fledged mine. This bill should have demanded for receipting all minerals produced in Zambia, so that we also mitigate the resources that we are losing through transfer pricing. This bill should have demanded for the CMIH, once converted into a fully-fledged mine, to sell its own copper. This bill, Madam Chairperson, should have ring-fenced artisanal and small-scale miners. It has failed to do that. So, the support we gave to this bill, Madam Chairperson, is in futile. Because we have not achieved many things that we wanted to achieve. We should explore all means of collecting revenue from all productive sectors, especially mining, because we are a mining giant. We are known for mining. Even on our flag, the orange color, Madam Speaker, is a symbol that explains our mineral wealth in this country. Madam Chairperson, I thank you.
The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson and Honorable Member. Madam Chairperson, I think that I will not let the comments that have just come out to go out there unchallenged as I respond to this matter. Number one, the geological bill that we have brought here extensively deals with issues of artisanal miners. In fact, for the first time in the history of Zambia, we are going to have a directorate of the artisanal and small-scale miners. There will be a director seated at the ministry for artisanal miners small scale. That is how important this sector is. And it goes deeper, Madam Speaker, that it gives the minister power to make regulations through even the Minerals Regulation Commission with an artisanal and small-scale mining fund. There will be money for small-scale and artisanal miners. That's how progressive what we are doing is. So there is no opportunity, Madam Speaker, that has been lost. If you have been following our discourse in this House, Madam Speaker, this government is going the route of mineral trading. An SPV has been formed. And we are bringing those names to Cabinet and to this House, Madam Speaker, because we are interested as a government to be part of the mineral value chain. So we have done, when we were breaking down this issue, Madam Speaker, and in answering even to the fact that the minister should not appoint the committee that looks at the Environmental Protection Fund, we cannot give that power to the regulator because he's a regulator, there will be conflict of interest. The minister will appoint those that will administer the fund, and there is no problem with that. Then the regulator will play its role as a regulator. So, Madam Chairperson, there is actually more benefit, and I want to thank the House for supporting this bill. Madam Chairperson, this government has shown political will for the first time to overhaul the mining sector. If there will be, yes, we've never had a minerals commission, have we? Indeed. And that is why what I expect is kudos to President HH and the UPND government. If there will be lacunas or problems within the law, we are going to come back to the House and clean it up. Where we find there are problems, it will not be cast in concrete. And I want to say this to ourselves as a nation, that when we make a law, already we are grappling with one, I don't want to mention it, which has got so many ambiguities. If we see that even in this bill, there is somewhere where we can clean it up and make it even more efficient, I will be not shy, if at all I'll still be Minister of Mines, to come back. And also, you know, amend what we are supposed to amend until we clean. No law is perfect in this world. I don't know where you find one which is the perfect law. So, Madam Chairperson, government stands by what it has presented. I thank you.
Mr. Kangombe.
Thank you very much once again, Madam Chairperson. Madam Chairperson, I will draw the Honorable Minister to Clause 6. So if you go to Clause 6, Clause 6 has got functions of the Commission. And one of the functions, there is A up to the following page, A up to M. So if I look at this number of functions and what the Honorable Member of Parliament is proposing under Clause 67, Madam Chairperson, I see no conflict that will arise in this fund being managed through the Commission. What the Honorable Member of Parliament for Sakile is suggesting is that there's an Environmental Protection Fund. Why allow the Minister to appoint the committee to manage the fund when under Clause 6 there are so many functions of the Commission? Why not give these duties to the Commission? That is what the Honorable Member for Sakile is suggesting, and I do support the proposal. I thank you.
The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
Madam Speaker, Madam Chairperson, I think the Honorable Member, the only thing I'll say is government stands by what it has proposed. I thank you.
I put the question. The question is that Clause 67, as further amended, stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Of the contrary say no. The noes have it. The question is negatived. Amendment falls away. Clause 68, mineral royalties and charges. Any debate and objection? Clause 68 is agreed to. Clause 69, royalties on production of minerals. Any debate and objection? Clause 69 is agreed to. Clause 70, due date for mineral royalty. Any debate and objection? The question is that Clause 70 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
I beg to move that Clause 70 be amended with words as circulated.
The question is that Clause 70 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. Clause 70 as amended. Any further debate? I put the question. The question is that Clause 70 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 70 as amended is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 71, mineral royalty returns. Any debate and objection? The question is that Clause 71 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
I beg to move that Clause 71 be amended with words as circulated.
The question is that Clause 71 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. Clause 71 as amended. Any further debate? I put the question. The question is that Clause 71 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Minister, your people are not supporting you. Of the contrary, say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 71 as amended is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 72, provision assessment of mineral royalty. Any debate and objection? Clause 72 is agreed to. Clause 73, remission of mineral royalty. Any debate and objection? Clause 73 is agreed to. Clause 74, deferment of mineral royalty. Any debate and objection? Clause 74 is agreed to. Clause 75, prohibition of disposal of minerals. Any debate and objection? Clause 75 is agreed to. Clause 76, inspectors. Any debate and objection? Clause 76 is agreed to. Clause 77, powers of inspectors. Any debate and objection? Clause 77 is agreed to. Clause 79, establishment of tribunal and jurisdiction. Any debate and objection? Clause 79 is agreed to. Clause 80, members of tribunal. Any debate and objection? Clause 80 is agreed to. Clause 81, tenure of office of members of tribunal. Any debate and objection? Clause 81 is agreed to. Clause 82, funding and allowances of members of tribunal. Any debate and objection? Clause 82 is agreed to. Clause 83. It's not here. It's not here. It's in the bill, eh? Yes. 78. Yeah, they skipped it. What is there? My apologies, honorable members. I had skipped clause 78. Seizure of property. Any debate and objection? Clause 78 is agreed to. We move to clause 70. Where was it? We move to clause 80, members of tribunal. Any debate and objection? Clause 80 is agreed to. Clause 81, tenure of office of members of tribunal. Any debate and objection? Clause 81 is agreed to. Clause 82, funding and allowances of members of tribunal. Any debate and objection? Clause 82 is agreed to. Clause 83, registrar of tribunal and other staff. Any debate and Any objection? Clause 83 is agreed to. Clause 84, exercise of power of tribunal and procedure. Any debate, any objection? Clause 84 is agreed to. Clause 85, appeals to tribunal. Any debate, any objection? Clause 85 is agreed to. Clause 86, notice of appeal. Any debate, any objection? Clause 86 is agreed to. Clause 87, hearing before tribunal. Any debate, any objection? Clause 87 is agreed to. Clause 88, restriction on number of mining rights. Any debate, any objection? Clause 88 is agreed to. Clause 89, offenses by body corporate or an incorporate body. Any debate, any objection? Clause 89 is agreed to. Clause 90, disclosure of information. Any debate, any objection? Clause 90 is agreed to. Clause 91, registers. Any debate, any objection? Clause 91 is agreed to. Clause 92, civil damages. Any debate, any objection? Clause 92 is agreed to. Clause 93, general penalty. Any debate, any objection? Clause 93 is agreed to. Clause 94, summary imposition of penalties. Summary imposition of penalties and summary imposition of penalties. Any debate, any objection? Clause 94 is agreed to. Clause 95, additional powers of court. Any debate, any objection? Clause 95 is agreed to. Clause 96, guidelines. Any debate, any objection? Clause 96 is agreed to. Clause 97, regulations. Any debate, any objection? The question is that Clause 97 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
I beg to move that Clause 97. I beg to move that Clause 97.
97, yes.
Be amended with words as circulated.
The question is that Clause 97 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate, any objection? Amendment is agreed to. Clause 97 as amended. Any further debate? I put the question. The question is that Clause 97 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. All the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 97 as amended is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 98, repeal of Act number 11 of 2015 and savings and transitional provisions. Any debate, any objection? Clause 98 is agreed to. Schedule on page 71. Any debate, any objection? Schedule on page 71 is agreed to. General amendment. The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
I beg to move that the bill on pages 20 to 70 with words as circulated.
The question is that the bill be amended on pages 20 to 70 with words as circulated. Any debate, any objection? Amendment is agreed to. Amendment on pages 20 to 70 as amended. Any further debate? I put the question. The question is that the bill as amended on pages 20 to 70 stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it and the question is resolved. The bill as amended on pages 20 to 70 is ordered to stand part of the bill. Chair, long title, any debate, any objection? Long title is agreed to. The bill will be reported to the House as having passed through the committee with amendments. As the time is 18:55 hours, I interrupt the proceedings and committee work stands adjourned. The committee of the whole House will report progress and ask leave to sit again. Madam, I have to report to the House that the Committee of the whole House has gone through the Health Professions Bill, National Assembly Bill number 11 of 2024 with amendments. Page 15. 15.
Day for consideration of the report? I don't think.
That's mine. Madam Speaker, tomorrow, the 6th December 2024.
Consideration of the report to be taken on 16th December 2024. 6th December 2024, which is tomorrow. Then,
Next order.
as the time is
Next order.
next order.
Madam, I have to report to the House that the Committee of the whole House has gone through the Minerals Regulation Commission Bill, National Assembly Bill number 1 of 2024 with amendments.
Day for consideration of the report.
Tomorrow, Madam Speaker.
Consideration of the report to be taken tomorrow, Friday, 6th December 2024. Next order.
That's all.
It's finished, okay. So as the time is 18:55 hours, I interrupt the proceedings and business stands adjourned. Day for resumption of business.
Tomorrow, Madam Speaker.
Business to resume tomorrow. The House is now adjourned.
Much for still being with us on Parliament Television. The House has just adjourned until tomorrow at 09 hours. Just now we look at business that has been considered on the floor of the House from the time business resumed at 14:30.
We had two announcements, and in one of the announcements, the Honorable Madam Speaker recognized the presence in the public gallery of pupils and teachers from Blue Angel Primary School in the Saka district, and on behalf of the National Assembly, she warmly welcomed the guest to the Parliament of Zambia.
In the other announcement, Madam Speaker recognized the presence in the public gallery of ward councillors from Bawala Parliamentary constituency in Choma district. Madam Speaker, on behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia, warmly welcomed the visitors to the National Assembly.
And after the two announcements, there was a ministerial statement that was made by the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Honorable Garin Kombo, and this was on the procurement of 156 ambulances under the CDF Constituency Development Fund for 2024. And in the statement, the Minister did indicate to the House that in its ministerial statement, in ministerial circular on the CDF implementation for 2024, the Ministry guided all 116 local authorities to set aside $112,000 US for the procurement of land ambulances under the 2024 CDF budget. He said that at the time of allocating the $112,000 US, the average cost of the basic life support ambulance and the neonatal ambulances was between US $97,000 to $120,000 US. And he said that it is also important to mention that at this time a decision was yet to be made on the actual quantities to be bought for each of the stated ambulance type.
The Minister did say that on 28 November 2023, the Ministry officially engaged the Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency ZAMSA through the Ministry of Health to initiate the procurement of 156 basic life support ambulances, one for each constituency. He further said that the Ministry's request was in keeping with the ZAMSA Act number 9 of 2019 under Section 5A, which mandates the agency to procure, store and distribute medicines and medical supplies. The Minister said that the Ministry further guided ZAMSA to facilitate the procurement of ambulances using CDF funds in line with the Zambia Public Procurement Authority Circular number 1 of 2023 dated 14th January, which circular provides guidance on the CDF procurements.
And the Minister went on to say that the ZPPA Circular number 1 of 2023 reserves CDF procurements for Zambian citizens, and in so doing, he emphasized that preference and priority is given to citizens in the CDF procurement in line with Section 91(1)(b) and 91(2) of the Public Procurement Act, PPA number 8 of 2020. He said that prior to the procurement of ambulances under CDF, government had previously attempted to procure 100 ambulances under the Ministry of Health. That was through an open national tender on about 2 occasions. He, however, said that attempts to procure the ambulances did not result into successful award of the contract.
In view of the above, the Minister further said there was pressure to expedite the procurement of ambulances in order to address the critical shortage of ambulances in all the districts of the country. He further said that it was on this basis that government sought an effective and cost-efficient way to procure the ambulances by seeking authority from ZPPA to reduce the flotation period from 4 weeks to 2 weeks. Further, in keeping with the public procurement regulations of 2022, specifically regulation number 32, he said that the procuring entity opted to use selective bidding as provided for under the ZPPA Act of 2020.
The Minister went on to say that on 15th May 2024, 2 citizen-owned companies, ACE Pharmaceutical Limited and Aquas Investment Limited, were awarded and signed a contract to supply and deliver 78 basic life support ambulances each. He said that the contract is valid for 18 months effective 10th May 2024. And he said that in line with the law, each of the successful companies was paid $1.5 million US as a 25% down payment, and that the delivery period for these ambulances as contained in the contract was between 16 to 20 weeks upon receipt of the down payment, which delivery period expired on 1st December 2024.
As of today, 5th December 2024, the Minister said 11 ambulances are in the country, 6 from SCE Pharmaceutical Limited and 5 from Aquas Investment Limited. He further said that another 18 ambulances are under shipment and will be in the country soon going by the documentation availed to the ministry by the contracted suppliers. He said the projection is that at least 50 ambulances will be in the country by 31st December 2024 and the balance 106 ambulances by 31st May 2025. The minister said to put on record that the due diligence was conducted during the process leading to award of contracts to ensure compliance to government policy on procurement and citizen participation, including competitive pricing, adherence to quality standards, and timeliness in delivery.
The minister further reported to the House that the ministry bought the said ambulances at an extremely competitive price of US dollars 9,500 per unit, and compared to the past where the same type of vehicles would cost twice this amount. He said that the quality of ambulance is also top of range, and that is Land Rover 2024 model 1HZ engine diesel propelled. And he also acknowledged that the delivery of the 156 ambulances will fall outside the agreed timeline, and it should be noted that this was driven by factors beyond control, and that the disruption in the supply chain of the type of chassis for vehicles being bought. He further said that the ministry had engaged with all the stakeholders, including the suppliers and foreign missions, to ensure that some of the challenges are addressed.
The minister said that there is absolutely no scandal in the procurement of the 156 ambulances under the CDF. Further, he put it on record that the ministry has not received or seen any report from the Auditor General or indeed any government agency questioning the procurement method, price or delivery of the 156 ambulances. The minister said that the ministry is and remains committed to prioritizing citizen-owned companies in the CDF procurements, regardless of their social status, as long as they qualify to participate as guided by the law. He said that the companies that were awarded to procure and supply 156 ambulances under the CDF are citizens' companies, as seen from the PACRA company documents.
Yes, after that ministerial statement by the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, there was a motion by Her Honor the Vice President, and in this motion she urged that the House, that in accordance with Standing Orders 27.2 and 123 of the National Assembly Standing Orders 2024 be suspended to enable the House to sit until all business on the order paper is completed on Friday, 6th December 2024, and also to consider more than one stage of a bill at a single sitting.
After that motion, the House went on to consider one question for oral answer under Standing Order 82, and this question came from Katombola Member of Parliament, Dr. Clement Andeleki. He directed this question to the Minister of Agriculture. He wanted to find out why the Food Reserve Agency, FRA, has not heeded the President's directive to create selling points for relief maize in the following chiefdoms in Katombola Parliamentary constituency. These are Mukuni, Musokotwane, Nyawa, Sekute and Momba, and the Minister of Agriculture did say that FRA is actively implementing the presidential directive. In the other part of the question, he wanted to find out when the FRA will create the selling points to assist the residents in the chiefdoms so that they do not have to travel long distances to purchase maize. And the Minister of Agriculture indicated that FRA is operating in 22 depots within the 3 chiefdoms.
And there was one question for oral answer under Standing Order 80, and this was question number 154 coming from Kasama Central Member of Parliament, Sibongile Mwamba, and she directed a question to the Minister of Health, in which she wanted to find out whether government has any plans to procure the following for Kasama General Hospital and other health facilities in Kasama Central Parliamentary constituency to enhance health care services, and these are mattresses, beddings, beds, wheelchairs, stretchers, and the patient care supplies. And part B of the question, if so, when the plans will be implemented, and in part C, she wanted to know if there are no plans, why. And in response to this question, the Minister of Health indicated to the House that government has plans to procure the said items for health facilities in Kasama Central Parliamentary constituency and Kasama General Hospital. And Part B, when the plans will be implemented, the Minister informed the House that plans will be implemented once procurement process is completed.
After consideration of those questions, 2 bills were deferred to a later date for consideration. These are the Cyber Security Bill, National Assembly Bill number 29 of 2024 at second reading, and also the Cyber Crimes Bill, National Assembly Bill number 30 of 2024, also at second reading.
The House went on to consider the Anti-terrorism and Non-proliferation Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 31 of 2024, which was considered at second reading stage, and it's gone through the second reading stage with the amendments. Report stage will be taken tomorrow, 6 December 2024.
The other bill that was considered is the Health Professions Bill. This was a resumption of committee work, National Assembly Bill number 11 of 2024. Considered in committee, passed through committee with amendments. Consideration of the report will be taken tomorrow, 6 December 2024.
And another bill considered in committee was the Minerals Regulation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 1 of 2024, and it's gone through this stage with amendments, and the report will be taken tomorrow.
And so this is business that has been considered on the floor of the House today, Thursday, 5th December 2024. From all of us here, it's goodbye. Keep watching Parliament Television, even as we continue bringing Parliament closer to you.
The National Assembly of Zambia, in conjunction with the Southern African Development Community Parliamentary Forum SADC PF, will host the 56th Plenary Assembly session from the 8th to 15th December 2024 at the Radisson Blue Mosotunya Resort in Livingstone under the theme Leveraging Technology and Innovation for Smart, Inclusive and Responsive Parliaments in the SADC region. SADC PF is a regional interparliamentary body comprising 15 national parliaments of SADC member states, namely Angola, Botswana, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Eswatini,